right, everyone, here we go from inside the Driscoll Arena in Fall River, Massachusetts. We welcome you to our coverage of South Coast Conference Hockey on YouTube, Somerset Access TV Channel 98, and Berkley Community Access TV Channel 9. The 8-6-1 Somerset Berkley Raiders getting set to take on the 6-8 Apponequet Lakers. Thank you for joining us. I'm Keegan Hambla alongside JJ Sylvia. Mikey Alves on commentary. Mariana Veloz is the woman running our camera, stepping in for Brian Moniz. JJ, it's been a while since we've had a conference game that is going to mean so much for both teams tonight.
Yeah, and for Somerset Berkley, Keegan, they've reached a tipping point in their season. They need to start establishing...
Oh, early chance here for Bastos, and that one is covered by Mark Donati.
Establishing consistency is really going to be what's most important for the Raiders the rest of the way. They need consistent performances game in and game out in order to make sure that the seeding is to their benefit in the upcoming state tournament.
It's going to be a tie-up on the side, and Connor Mantiga will get to it. And he got hit into the boards by Jack Sanford. That one lofted up in the air. Bastos will take control, goes down low to Evan Barboza. Ryan Arbrew takes over for Apponequet. Logan Frias sends it off to the side. Bastos takes over, popped it out in front, might have gone off the stick of Donati. Here comes Arbrew, stepping up the other way, got by Barboza, a good deke, stepping up on the left side, tried to feed it into the middle, it was stick down. Arbrew gets back to it, and it looks like Adam Bastos will come over to regather. Mikey, the last time Somerset Berkley and Apponequet faced off, back and forth games, Somerset Berkley got the win 5-4. What do they have to do tonight to sweep the season series?
Again, I might sound like a broken record, but just set the tone early. Like, get Bucks in deep and use your speed to outbeat the Lakers to the puck. And I feel like the moral of the story this year has been depth issues with Somerset. And when they play bigger schools like Dartmouth and Mansfield and Taunton, they seem to be lacking that third and fourth line depth. And I mean, tonight I think they'll be okay here.
Ryan Vincent stepping in for Apponequet. And unable to get a touch on that one was Evan Sylvia. Starting goalies, we mentioned Mark Donati for Apponequet. Might be his first test here, and he ends up making the save. Gavin Rodriguez. Both goalies come in with 3 wins on the season, but a sub-500 record. Similar goals against averages, too. Gavin's 3.16. Mark is 3.2. So, JJ, I'm thinking we're going to see a high-scoring game yet again, like we saw last time when you called that Somerset Apponequet game.
Oh, for sure. The Raiders know that the importance of each game is picked up now at this very important point in the season.
Carter Sylvia shot got blocked down in front. It either got through to Brogdon or Nate Peck. Sent all the way down, and we are going to have an icing. Long stretch there without a whistle, but you got to keep the tempo going.
And tempo is really important for the Raiders. That's something they usually struggle to do at the beginning of games, Keegan, is set the tempo, especially given the skill and speed that they have on their top 2 lines and even their third. It really is something that you would expect more out of the Raiders, but the frequency just hasn't been there.
Couple inactives tonight for Somerset Berkley. Michael Landry will now be on the junior varsity side full-time, and no Connor Van Verenwyk, unfortunately, for the rest of the season. Face-off on the left side of Donati. Preston able to chip it forward, now going to battle against Sanford. An open man and Kamara down low, walked out on the other side by Greg Francis, who's got 7 points on the air, 4 goals, 3 assists. We're going to have another icing here, and with that, our second whistle. Let's meet the opposing head coach for Apponequet.
Nathan Farrington, it's his first season, 29 years old, from East Freetown. He played 2 years at Springfield College and actually put up 10 goals and 9 assists in 15 games. And he also played 2 years for the Mentor Icebreakers, based out of Ohio, in the Federal Prospects Hockey League. And the team folded in 2020, and they did not join another.
Nate Farrington stepping in to replace 4-year coach Ed Botello. Wish Ed Botello the rest. He's a good financial planner in the area, too, the old coach Ed Botello.
Indeed, indeed. There's always a lot of local ties here. A lot of the coaches that we see in this area for teams like Somerset and Apponequet, well known in their communities outside of their coaching gigs.
Cam Sylvia going to put one behind the net. Liam Blankush trying to free it. Looks like well on the other side. Senior to freshman Gavin Kamara. He'll play it back towards the left. Good dangle in the middle. That step up wouldn't work for Aaron Preston. Tap down, past Logan Rose. We have another icing. And I apologize if we're taking breaks. We've got the Diamond Durfee side. They're celebrating their senior night, bringing pizzas, God knows what. I hope to be invited to that party after this game is over.
Come on in for a slice when you're hungry.
Thank you.
Well, we'll talk about that, Mikey, because you played varsity sports. Same with you, JJ. It's not our senior night. It will be on Wednesday. What made senior night different than all the other games?
I feel like just a tradition. I mean, you see how many people show up to a senior night as opposed to a regular season game. It just, especially for the seniors, they know it's their last go. Probably playing hockey ever at a really competitive level, and I feel like it just means so much for the older kids.
Manteca swoops around, going on Donati. Manteca's having one heck of a day. He had a game earlier today for the U14 Northeast Generals, scored 2 goals in that one. Don't know how many times you'll have the opportunity to say you scored for 2 teams on the same day. Adam Bastis at the edge of the circle, got by Brogdon, will send it down low to Evan Barboza. Barboza trying to cut in front. Donati finds it. He covers it up.
I like the cycling early on between Barbosa and Bastis. Some of the best games that Somerset Berkley has had this season, Keegan, offensively, have been those games when Barbosa and Bastis look as fluid as they did on that particular sequence right there. But a nice effort from Donati to make sure Barbosa couldn't work more of his magic that has caused him to be the leading scorer for the Raiders this season.
A takeover in front, and Evan Sylvia couldn't poke it in on the near side. Goes back out to the line. That's Mello putting it high off the glass. Red Axon going to step in, going to battle against Frias. Looks like Ryan Vincent takes over, though. Went off of Axon's skate out of the zone. Gabe Gonzalez will send it back in. Jack Sanford, the junior, only got 1 goal to his name this year. Delayed offside. Donati will leave it for Sanford. Turnover in the middle. Mello stepping up to get it on the backhand. Went off of a skate. Vincent on the left. Evan Sylvia was ready to line up for a hit, but he sends it down. Rodriguez will leave it. About 5 minutes in, JJ, what are you liking so far from both sides?
What I'm really liking from Somerset Berkley, Keegan, is the aggressiveness on the forecheck. It's been making it difficult for the Apponequet Lakers to get out of their offensive zone. And then for the Lakers, I also like the aggressiveness of Mark Donati. I saw it a lot last game these two teams played as well. Donati is very skilled, but he also has a great balance of being conservative while also aggressive at the same time. Being aggressive on the Bastis play there earlier, and then a little more conservative in that last sequence.
Step up here from Somerset Berkley, fed across. What a save from Donati as Camara got it over to Cam McKenna.
There's that conservative goaltending play that we saw right there. Donati didn't overcompensate there. He stood his ground and made that slight, subtle movement that he needed to cover the area of the net he needed.
Brogdon to the right. Aubrew, and a collision between 2 Raiders in the middle. Camara and McKenna. It was McKenna who went down. Somerset Berkley controls it in their own defensive end. Brogdon sends it down, and Apponequet will make a line change. A little dangerous play there. Still controlled by the Raiders, and unable to get it over to the right side was Aaron Preston, the alternate captain. Preston not paying attention to where that puck was, and it'll lead to Keith Tobin, who's still looking for his first point of the season. Left side for Sylvia, too far for Nathan Navega. We have another icing, and sports are big in the Navega household. Older brother Steven was a longtime fixture of the Apponequet side, mainly for football. I don't know if you remember him, Mikey, but he was one heck of a football player for the Lakers.
Oh, I'm sorry. Would you say his name was?
No, you're all good. Steven Navega for Apponequet.
Oh, yeah, that's probably past my time, but yeah. I rode bench anyways. I didn't really play.
Mello down to Barboza, battling against Frias. Nearly popped in front for Adam Bastis. Might walk out the other way for Grady Dion against Nate Mello. Got the puck into the Somerset Berkley zone. No juice to keep going forward. Evan Barboza with the counter on his right. The stick drag in front. Gets back to it down low for Bastis. Loose puck. Bastis never got to it against Navega. And it's going to be sent out by Francis. Do want to shout out Mari, your girlfriend JJ, stepping up big time to work the camera. Oh, and a score as Barboza took it on the right side. It's 1-0.
Talk about stepping up big time, Barbosa in that situation. Gotta love it. Early 1-0 lead for the Raiders, and who better to do it than their top dog on offense.
Yeah, I feel like Bastis and Barboza have been a two-headed monster on offense all season, but to kind of address the elephant in the room, I'm really curious to see how Somerset holds up against Lakers without Mason Sullivan. I feel like he's such a big presence on both sides of the puck.
17th goal of the season for Evan Barboza. He had 17 career goals in his first 3 high school seasons. What an effort he's putting in this year.
Nah, he really is, and I don't like to make comparisons a lot, but the league that Barboza was coming from, the skill level's just different. I think for him in this situation, it's kind of like Superman in a way, transitioning from Krypton onto Earth. He's got some extra special abilities in comparison to some of his peers in this type of competition level.
Vincent is going to get that one as Eon Nevins found it. Rodriguez got to stick to it. And it goes to his left side. Restarted up the middle in the neutral zone. Axon to Carter Sylvia. Sylvia hauled down. That was Ryan Aubrew, the multi-sport athlete, committed to Fitchburg State to play some soccer there next year. We wish Ryan the best. Shout out to Ryan Aubrew, too, because Apponequet was missing a lot of stats, and he was able to get that for me this morning. Ryan, one of the nicest guys around in the SCC. Carter Sylvia keeps it in at the blue line, and Donati not going to risk it. He'll cover for his 6th save of the game.
I really like the effort so far, Keegan, from this third line. I was talking about it a bit in the last broadcast I was a part of with Brady Kudo about the importance when you're especially competing for a state championship to have a strong third line, and it looks like the Raiders are starting to figure out what combination works best to increase the strength of line 3.
All right, 6:42 to go in the first. 1-0 Somerset Berkley. They nearly doubled it as Aaron Preston got a deflection that went just wide. Here's the senior Logan Rose. Gonna have 5 more games to get another goal. He's only got 1 career goal. It was an own goal. Not sure how much credit you can get for that. That connection over trying to get to the right side wasn't there, and Ryan Orlando is in an offside position. Well, recently Apponequet had 2 players last week. They got their first career goals. It was the junior Cam Soderberg and the freshman defender Lachlan Sear. That big result against Greater New Bedford. As an upperclassman and as an underclassman, what kind of mentality boost does that provide, getting your first career goals?
Oh, well, I remember when I got my first career goal back in the day, and it feels so weird to say back in the day now because I'm getting close to 10 years since I graduated, which, again, that's a culture shock in and of itself. But those types of moments always give you so much confidence. What a big crunch there. But it can really help propel you to have more motivation and more drive throughout the rest of your career, especially if you can do it early. But even as an upperclassman, gives you that extra oomph.
That attempt was blocked down as Nate Mello took it. Evan Barboza stepping up, trying to cut into the middle. It's not there. Mello holding it in at the point. Good dangle to his left. Tried the backhand. Bastis is going to be unable to keep it in. Orlando got it out, sent right back down. Donati dangerously held it at that near post, and Braden Brogdon able to get it off to the side as more of the Diamond Durfee players are starting to make their way up here. Jared Freitas unable to get it out of the zone. Carter Sylvia keeps it in. Mello on the backhand in front, took a deflection, loose puck. Oh, tapped away as Colton Smith got it to the left side. Sent down. We're going to have another icing with 5 minutes to go.
I like the effort on the defensive end, though, Keegan, from Smith. Carter Sylvia was crashing in and was about a half second from swatting it back onto Donati. Donati's going to have to give some props to Smith in the locker room during first intermission.
We're at the 10-minute mark. I asked JJ this about 5 minutes in. Mikey, what do you like so far from both sides?
I'm honestly liking the depth so far from Somerset, ironically. I mean, the third line's gotten a lot more time than I expected, and they're doing a really good job cycling the puck and keeping good zone time right now, but we'll see how it continues for the rest of the game.
Donati able to make another save on that sequence. Let's take a real quick look at the South Coast Conference standings. If Somerset Berkley wins tonight, 3rd straight season, they will win at the minimum a share of the South Coast Conference. But if they lose tonight, that is going to set up for an interesting game between Somerset and Old Rochester on Wednesday for their senior night.
Oh, indeed, Keegan. So, again, I mentioned it earlier. These games the rest of the way for the Raiders are just more important because of that stretch of 3 straight losses that they had recently.
Freitas is able to get it out. What a good play there from Jared Freitas. And he's going to get back to it. He takes the shot. It might have gone through to Rodriguez. Off to the side for Cam Sylvia. Lush trying to get it in his skate, and it comes out of the zone. Rodriguez hasn't been tested much tonight. Has been stepping it up, though, in the last couple of games where he did have some struggles midseason, Gavin Rodriguez, but he seems to be finding his groove a little bit more as the season's gone on.
Yeah, and this is an adjustment for Rodriguez because before the merger was a thing, he was expecting to get the starting gig right out the gate. He had backed up Brandon Silva for all of last season and learned at the feet of one of the great goaltenders Somerset Berkley's ever seen in their program's history. So I think the adjustment period's over for Rodriguez. He's locked in. I saw him before the game today.
McKenna put it on frame. Donati with another save. That's another guy who's been stepping up lately, Cam McKenna. McKenna on the year, 9 goals, 3 assists. First 2 years had 3 goals each season, and there was so much hype around that kid when he was about to start his freshman year, as we have an icing here. And this is what we wanted out of Cam McKenna. He's getting on the scoreboard a lot more.
Oh, yeah, and earlier in the season when I was calling a good stretch of games, McKenna was stepping up in a lot of big ways. His offensive performance has always been prevalent, but it's really just kind of lacking sometimes on the score sheet specifically. But this year he's really stamping his name onto those score sheets, making sure everybody in the SCC knows he's a threat on the offensive end.
24 viewers on the live stream at home. We thank all of you for watching. A counter the other way, saved by Donati as Adam Bastos took it. Tell you what, Donati's been tested a lot tonight, but he's only let up that 1 goal that he really had no chance of saving.
Yeah, and Apponequet's got a bone to pick right now, Keegan. That last sequence, the puck hit the netting on the far side and then bounced in the Apponequet bench with no whistle. That coach was fuming.
Barboza takes over, backhand in front, got knocked down by Sylvia. Barboza gets it out to Mello. Nate Mello being nudged off by Ryan Aubrew. Mantiga, who got his first career goal 2 weeks ago against Greater New Bedford, off to the side. Bastos can't control. Frias with a funky bounce off the boards over to Nate Navega. Navega couldn't make the dangle by Mello. Trying to make a nudge in there with 2:15 to go in the period. Looks like Mello gets to it, and he'll leave it for Adam Bastos. Dangerous bouncing puck gathered in the middle and sent down by Gabe Gonzalez, but they got to get a line change.
That third line re-emerging, and a nice steal by Sylvia there.
Sylvia in a one-on-one battle down low, tried to chop it out in front to Brett Axon. It wasn't there.
But the aggressiveness, it's just showing on pretty much every shift that I've seen so far from the Raiders. There's just so much grittiness on the forecheck, and it's really why they've been able to establish so much pressure on Apponequet and their star goaltender, Donati.
The Lakers walk out. We're going to have a penalty coming up against Somerset Berkley. Apponequet will go to the man advantage. Carter Sylvia just trying to get that touch. That puck was caught up. Looks like Brett Axon got the touch. Apponequet to the power play. First penalty for either side tonight.
Yeah, looks like a slash on Carter Sylvia there. Not what you want to do.
Yeah, Somerset's got to stay disciplined early here in this game, but one thing I have to add about Evan Barboza, I love how talented he is with his skating and his hands, but you never see him shy away from physical battles. He's always setting the tone, keeping like a strong physical attitude for this team, despite how good he is. He puts numbers up on the stat sheets, but he also is never afraid to get in the physical battles.
This was an Apponequet power play that was very strong the last time these two teams met. They are going to start the second period for 44 seconds on the man advantage if they can't get one here. Good takedown by Jared Freitas. Preston trying to find it. He can't. It'll be Vincent, too far for Freitas. Nate Mello has it in the back with 50 to go. Sanford holds it. Frias sends it down. Rodriguez wanted to stick it. He can't get to it. Good step in, and Mello walks out. Nate Mello on the shorthanded counter. Couldn't make the dangle, but it stays in at the line. It's going to go off the boards. Sanford Past the red line into the zone. We'll send it in deep. Blankush will leave it for Lush. Held in by Navega. Lush gets right back to it. It's off the netting and out of play.
The success in terms of Apponequet being able to execute the dump and chase early in the first period was a struggle for them. Now it seems they're starting to be able to beat Somerset Berkley's defenders down to the puck below goal, and they were able to set up decently on that last sequence. Let's see if they can keep that rolling for the last 12.
Barboza able to tap it out. It's the other number 15, and Nate Peck. Off to the right side. We'll see if Apponequet wants to get one more shot away. Here it comes from Sanford. It's saved by Rodriguez. A good back and forth first period by both sides, but there's always rooms for improvement.
Yeah, Somerset Berkley still needs to make sure that they're making passes with purpose. This is something that pretty much every coach I ever had was always preaching. You don't get rid of the puck unless you know where it's going and you know it's going to get there. It's 99% of the time, and I'm sure Mikey would agree with me on this, 99% of the time it's better to eat it and hold on to it than to just dump it up looking for no one. And that's something that Somerset Berkley can sometimes get into a bad habit of doing. If they can prevent it throughout the rest of this game, this could be a situation where they could use this as an opportunity to build up that positive energy that they're going to need to make a strong run the rest of the way. Because I was talking to Mikey about it in pregame. They pretty much need to win a majority of the rest of their games in order to have a shot at a home game in the first round of the state tournament, Keegan. So the importance, I'm going to say it all night and sound like a broken record, these games the rest of the way, each and every one of them, are important.
Mikey, Apponequet's going to have 3/4 of a minute when we come out of the locker room on the man advantage to try to tie this game up. What do you want to see from them that we haven't seen much of tonight?
I would say up the physicality a lot more. I've seen a lot of teams this year when they're really physical, when they put bodies on the puck against Somerset starts to get frustrated, and you know those physical battles seem to get to their head sometimes, and they take undisciplined penalties. So yeah, I would just up the intensity right now.
Well, 1-0 Somerset Berkley through 15 minutes of play. It was Evan Barboza with his 17th goal of the season to get the Raiders on the board. For our tape delay audiences, we'll take a short break. Second period will come up in just a second. We're back inside Driscoll Arena, about ready to begin the second period in tonight's South Coast Conference hockey matchup between Somerset Berkley and Apponequet. It was Evan Barboza, who else, the team leader in goals, getting things going early on in the first period. If you're watching on any of our platforms, we do thank you. Keegan Hamblett with JJ Sylvia, Mikey Alves on commentary, Mari Veloz, the girl stepping up, running our camera, filling in for Brian Moniz. JJ, we saw a great back and forth first period, but there's still plenty more to come for both sides.
Yes, and I think the goal for Apponequet the rest of the way is going to be finding a way to better execute breakouts of their zone. Somerset Berkley has established a heavy forecheck. If the Lakers can break it, they might be able to draw even and even go up.
And look who's out there for his first shift tonight, Mason Sullivan. Some questions about him coming in. He's on the ice, and I'll tell you what, it's good that they have him out here, especially in this big of a game.
Yeah, Sullivan is one of those guys that's in a long line of big, tall, powerful skating defensemen. That's one of Kevin Snyder's bread and butter players. I saw it when I played, Mikey saw it when he played, and we'll see it long after Mason leaves too.
Oh, you got someone off to the side injured. That's Nate Navega. He got a stick up high. We're going to have a penalty coming up. Donati doesn't realize it yet. They're trying to get him to the bench. I don't know what Donati's doing. Now here he goes. Farrington was yelling at him the whole time. One penalty's over, but Apponequet's going to go right back to the man advantage. Vincent sending it in front. It's touched by Mason Sullivan. And I didn't see the arm go up originally, but I did see the stick go up high, and I think it was Brett Axon who got it up on Navega. Let's see.
I believe you are right, Keegan, as Axon heads over to the box. We've talked about it all season. Somerset has a really bad habit of getting costly penalties in big situations where momentum shifts are on the line. They're going to need another big stop from their PK here.
Brett Axon, one of the 10 seniors that are going to be honored on Wednesday night for our senior night, as 40 career points, 18 goals, 22 assists. That one went all the way through, no direction in front. Rodriguez with another save.
Great tracking there by Rodriguez. He had some pretty nifty traffic in front of him and was still able to see that puck all the way.
Here's Jared Freitas. Off the sideboards, too far for Sanford, poked out by Barboza. Here comes Bastos, and they're offside, and Kevin Snyder is irate.
Now that's a good call there, Keegan. Bastos was trying to grab a bouncing puck. Barbosa was antsy to get into the zone. It's just one of those plays that's a matter of circumstance.
Face-off just outside of the Apponequet zone. And I know, Mikey, your one thing is staying disciplined for both teams in high school hockey. As Barboza takes over, he put it on frame. Donati covers, and a cheap shot off to the side, and Barboza gets some karma on that, falling down afterwards. But he says staying disciplined, and I think that's what has kept Apponequet in a lot of these games. They don't take a lot of penalties. They don't go out shoving guys if there's a big hit or anything like that. That is a very important trait to have.
Yeah, the matter of fact, like in games like this, it's not the amount of big plays you do make, it's about the amount of mistakes that you don't make. And I think that's what comes down to the discipline right now. And, you know, Somerset's taking too many penalties, and eventually they're going to get a scoring opportunity like that, and you never know which one's going to go in.
That was a chance of the game right there for Apponequet to tie it. That was Ryan Aubrew who went forward.
And Keegan, I do want to add the tenacity and intensity that Apponequet plays with, and the lack of mistakes that they do make is there's a lot of credit to be given to Nathan Farrington for that. It's only his first season, so that means that the culture that he's creating and the work ethic that he's instilling in his players is working, and it's creating a system that can lead to success.
Ryan Aubrew, who had that chance right in front, leads the team in points, goals, and assists. 10 goals, 10 assists to his name. Still 53 seconds to go on the man advantage. Played off to the side. Looks like Colin Lush has it for the Raiders. Lush are part of that state championship winning baseball team out at Seekonk High School. They're looking to run it back. They want to go for the three-peat this year, and they're bringing a lot of their core back.
That sounds like a similar story to what Somerset basketball is going through right now. Brought pretty much everyone back as well, and they're looking for a deep run too.
Here's Nate Mello, shorthanded. Makes a dangle, gets it out in front, and Brady Fitzpatrick couldn't see it in time. Watch out here, Gabe Gonzalez able to play it up the ice to kill off some more time.
I like the penalty kill this time from the Raiders. They're shutting things down in the neutral zone, and quote Brady, kudo. When you can own the neutral zone, you can usually win yourself a hockey game.
Shout out to Brady Kudo, who did the game with you earlier this week. That was against Dartmouth. Unfortunately, not the result anybody wanted, a blowout, 4-0. And as a broadcaster, that's kind of like a broadcaster nightmare, along with you can't see the numbers on the jerseys, the blowouts, because you have to dig and find and use that extra information about whatever's going on.
Yeah, you definitely do. And, you know, it's not as difficult for those of us who do our homework, but, you know, I had my struggles earlier in my broadcasting career with games like that, so I can definitely understand it.
Freitas tried to center it, wasn't there. Mason Sullivan regathers for Somerset Berkley just over 3 minutes into the second period. Jared Freitas is going to get to the puck first against Logan Rose. The self-pass off to the side around the boards. Freitas looking for something in front, it wasn't there. Sullivan up off the stick of Mello and sent right back down. It's going to work. Here is Vincent on the short side, tried to backhand it in front, no gas on it. Controlled by Francis, nudged off by Rose. Fitzpatrick running up on the right side. Overskated, or actually underskated, and a stick goes flying up in the air. That was Fitzpatrick's stick, who went up, nearly got caught in the netting. Mello. And Fitzpatrick never got to it on the other side. He gets back to it, sends it through the crease, not there. Sullivan walking in from the blue line, takes the shot. It was blocked in front. Might have gone through to Donati. Sent down. Rodriguez is going to let that one go for an icing.
I like the sequence there from Somerset Berkley. The breakouts are working well. And again, they're limiting those passes where you don't know where they're going. And their passes are having purpose right now, which is creating more fluid breakouts and more easy execution in the offensive zone.
Anybody watching on our live stream, a reminder that the next home Somerset Berkley sporting event, not including hockey, is going to be Tuesday at 6:30 when our girls basketball team hosts Bishop Stang. You can buy your tickets at the door, $4 for students, $6 for adults. And JJ, girls basketball, that game against Stang is going to decide their path to the tournament. They are 8-9. They have to win 2 out of 3 next week. They're probably going to win, knock on wood, Friday in the SEC showdown against Case. Knock on wood, probably going to lose Wednesday at Dartmouth. That is the game that's going to decide everything.
Yeah, and I'm hearing a lot of similarities between teams here. Girls basketball looking to pave an easier path for them in the state tournament. Somerset Berkley, this hockey squad we're watching right now, attempting to do the same with each and every game the rest of the way. They're trying to help themselves out in terms of the upcoming Massachusetts state tournament.
Apponequet's on the mix as well. They have to win 3 of their final 4 games. They are okay right now because they rank 24th in Division II. If you're above the 32 line and your record is less than 500, you're fine. If you're under 32, you're 33 or below, you have to finish 500. And Coach Farrington says he wants to get his team to 500, so he doesn't even have to worry about that. As Barboza tucks it in for his second goal of the game, as we're going through completely other different information yet again, it's Evan Barboza for another one.
2 snipes for 15 in this one, and he has been absolutely sensational. Just a men among boys at points in this one.
.455 is the time of the goal for Evan Barboza. And Mikey, Somerset Berkley has been waiting for a guy like Evan Barboza, a strong two-way player that can really do it all.
Yeah, honestly, within the past years of watching, the past 10 years of watching Somerset, he's by far, I would say, top 3 guys I've seen play on this team. He's just an all-around excellent player.
And a score! It's Adam Bastis!
And he's the next in line. Adam Bastis, I think he's an incredible player as well. And having both of them out on the ice at the same time, it's killer.
2 goals in a stretch of under 30 seconds, 16 seconds to be exact, have this game quickly up to 3-0.
And Keegan, Somerset Berkley has an opportunity here to really open this game up. 2-goal lead, even a 3-goal lead, never usually safe in these rivalry games. If they can keep this momentum flowing, they could get a few more on the board and go into the locker room for the second intermission with all the momentum.
As we all know, with those power rankings we were just talking about, every goal counts. The win margin cutoff for hockey is 3. So if you win 10-0 or 3-0, it goes in as the same as Rodriguez trying to keep that 3-goal lead alive with a spectacular save. But again, Somerset Berkley's average win margin right now, I believe, is 0.7 the last time I checked. Apponequet being a good D4 team, that's going to help them out if they can get a big win.
Oh, for sure.
A follow-up. Mello took the original shot. Aaron Preston got the dangerous rebound. It's 4-0.
Got to shout out Joey Frank on this one. An absolute snipe right there. A bunch of them today from the Raiders. They are just hitting their spots.
And the third line showing up today, that's for sure.
3 goals in a span of 56 seconds for Somerset Berkley. They're making up for it where goals have been a lot of a struggle in the last week and a half.
Yeah, and a change in goaltenders now. Mark Donati's out, and he slammed his stick hard as he headed into the Apponequet bench. So let's see if maybe this can give a jolt of energy to the Lakers with Tobin stepping in.
Nate Tobin, the junior, has played in 4 games this season, has allowed 8 goals through those 4 games. 3-1 record, too, so I know you face easier competition, but we've seen him play before, and he can get it done and slow the pace down.
Indeed, and Sullivan trying to speed the pace back up.
And
what
he did.
A shot.
Number 5 with goal number 5 tonight, and that's his 6th goal of the season.
Yeah, and Sullivan's fired up. This is starting to look like a game where the Raiders can work on some team chemistry and some skill building for some of those players that may not see as much ice time.
Yeah, like I said, Mason Sullivan, not having him in the first period, you could tell the difference in their play style right now. And like I said, he's just great on both sides of the ice, and his wrist shots has to be one of the best on this team.
Here's Brett Axon entering in, looking for a fifth goal in a minute and a half. And I think we're going to have a penalty coming up. There's the touch. Somerset Berkley is going to go to the man advantage.
Yeah, looks like a hooking call here, Keegan. Apponequet not doing themselves any favors right now.
Jack Sanford, the junior defender, is going to go to the box for that one. But the last time these two teams played, as we mentioned, it was back and forth. Somerset Berkley won with under 3 minutes to go in the third, 5-4. What's different tonight? Because we're not seeing really anything close from Apponequet in this game.
Different team completely, Keegan. A different team, a different mentality, a different level of aggressiveness, a different level of wanting to win. This team just seems more motivated than they did in the early part of the season. I was talking about it at the beginning of the year. There was going to be an adjustment period because of the newfound co-op, but that adjustment period is clearly over. This team looks like they are completely in sync.
Second center in front, and Bastos put it high. Wraparound try from Fitzpatrick wouldn't fall as Tobin tucked the near post. Stumbled down, 8 minutes to go in the second. Fed across, and it took a deflection as was trying to go over to Adam Bastos. Sullivan down low. Barboza walking in front, shooting it, got blocked. And that one is going to be sent down, which Rodriguez will leave aside for his captain Bastos. Good dangle by Ryan Vincent. Sullivan stepping in on the left. Trying to cut out in front. He did, and he roofed it. Good walk in, though, by the captain Sullivan.
Yeah, Mason's feeling confident right now. You can tell when Sullivan is really in his mojo because he'll try to go end-to-end any opportunity he sees fit.
Well, Mikey, you've been with us for a couple of games now. What do you like that Mason Sullivan brings to the table?
Everything, honestly, everything. He's not only just a huge presence in front of the net and clearing guys out, but when they have a power play or even strength, he cycles the puck so well around the ice. And if you give him any time and space to shoot that puck, you know there's a great chance he's roofing it.
Here is Nate Mello with it now. Left it for Evan Sylvia, got blocked. And stick down, sent all the way down. Brett Axon. And there was an angry stick tap. Francis wanted him to go, and there he goes. Axon in by himself. Backhand around, and Evan Sylvia never caught up to it in time. Reaching with the stick to get it back, though. What a play by Evan Sylvia. He'll be sent down with 23 seconds to go on the man advantage.
I like the effort, the no-quit effort, to be specific, from Apponequet's penalty kill here. They're not giving up. That much is clear.
Mello got the step by Aubrew. No fall for Cam Sylvia. Club baseball player, Cam Sylvia. A lot of multi-sport athletes all the way around wherever you look on the ice. And you could say it for hockey in the winter or even lacrosse in the spring as Sullivan puts it off the boards. Doing multiple sports can help boost your team as a breakaway to get Apponequet on the board, and it wouldn't go. I don't know if Rodriguez got a touch, and Nate Navega is absolutely furious he didn't punch that one in.
Keegan, I was talking about as Navega breaks his stick there, yard sale, but point being is that I was talking conservatism in the goaltending position earlier. That was a great display of conservatism there by Rodriguez. Again, holding his ground, not overcompensating, not going too far to one post, just making sure that he's in the position he needs and making himself as big as possible in that net.
It's always frustrating when you see a player break their stick, and he's going to end up going to the box for that one, too.
Yeah, probably an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and we were talking earlier, Apponequet doesn't make a lot of those mistakes. That's a rare one for the Lakers.
He's a senior. You got to It's going to cost him some money to go get a new stick. He's got college coming up. He can't be doing that.
Mariana and I talk about this all the time because she's still fairly new to the game. Hockey sticks are not cheap.
No, they're not.
Not cheap at all.
That one going to be sent down. 6 minutes to go. Blankush has it in the back. Lim Blankush had a goal and 5 assists last year, has a goal and 2 assists this year. We're going to have another penalty coming up. Somerset Berkley will go to the man advantage as a trip is going to be called.
And another chance for Somerset Berkley to display their highly touted power play units.
Yeah, and despite the lopsided score right now, obviously it's 5-0, but if I'm Somerset, I'm keeping the scoring mentality. Good offense is good defense. Keep getting pucks on that and keep trying to run up the score because I feel like you don't even want to give Apponequet even a hint of life and thinking that they can tie this game. Still plenty of time.
Face-off will be on the right side of Nate Tobin. Evan Barboza has it. Gets it out to Mason Sullivan. Left side for Adam Bastos at the edge of the circle. Bastos with it again. Sullivan at the blue line. Goes down low and Barboza couldn't tap it in. Sullivan with a good glove down to keep it in. Sullivan walking in, feeds it across and Barboza scores. What a pass. It's 6-0 and that is the hat trick for Evan Barboza.
Back-to-back hatties for the kid. Free Barb.
Excellent play again by both players, both X Factors in Mason Sullivan and Evan Barboza. And just to have the vision there to see Barboza wide open for the one-timer, it was a great play. Great play.
6 goals in 2 games for Evan Barboza. I don't know the last time we've ever had someone in the area do that.
Yeah, it's a rarity. One more game like this and we'll call it an Ovech trick, to quote one of the old NHL commercials from back in the day. Mikey's a big Ovechkin fan too, so I know he appreciates that one.
That record's coming. That record's coming. He's coming for that in March.
Do you think he gets it this year?
Yeah, I bet $100 on it, so I hope he does.
I don't know if we can put that over the air. No.
It's for educational purposes. Educational purposes only.
Here's someone who's looking to add another goal. Or both of them, actually. Kamara and Mantiga. Mantiga across. Kamara nudged by Orlando. Mantiga in the middle. Takes the shot, and Tobin able to glove it. Jake Da Silva was in the mix as well. He's looking for his first career goal. The only freshman that doesn't have a goal yet is the center, Brody Arujo, and we haven't seen him out there yet tonight, but you can bet that Snyder's going to put him out there at some point.
Yeah, Kevin Snyder, always known in these types of games for digging into his bench. I'm excited to see it.
That one goes just wide. I think it was Logan Rose who took the shot. Counter for Apponequet the other way. Arbor has to bring it back as Francis lost his stick. Mantiga, the freshman, getting a nudge on the senior. That got some hand bangs right on the Somerset Berkley bench. 4:10 to go in the second. Stick down held in by Da Silva. Good dangle. Arbor against Lush. Kamara takes over, too far for Da Silva. And everybody's offside, so they all got to get back. Lush hammered down hard by Ryan Arbor.
Yeah, Auburn bringing some of the brute there.
Rodriguez able to glove that. That one took a weird bounce off the boards, and we know there's weird dents in the boards. There's weird ruts on the ice right in front. You got to be careful because that puck can end up anywhere.
Oh yeah, for sure, Keegan, but that's one of those home ice advantages that the Raiders definitely appreciate.
And you have to put it into perspective right now. It's a 6-0 hockey game, but if you're a fourth liner on Somerset and you're getting all this time right now, this is basically your tryout. This is your chance to shine and hopefully get yourself higher in the lineup either this year or next year and just make a name for yourself and try to prove yourself out there that, you know, you can play.
Next game coming up for Somerset Berkley, one that we've had circled on our calendar 3 times now. Somerset Berkley versus Taunton here at the Driscoll Arena, where they met 2 months ago for the Prenda Cup final that Taunton won 2-1. That game coming up On Monday at 4:30, JJ Sylvia and Joey Frank will have the call for that. Brian Moniz hopefully will be on camera that time.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Brian again, Keegan, and that game I talk about importance. It doesn't really get much better than that. It's going to be a true test of whether or not the Raiders are as competitive as the hopes had set for them in the early portion of the season.
2-on-2 for Apponequet. Ryan Vincent down low trying to work against Anthony Diallo. He was a good freshman for DRS last year, and I'm surprised we haven't seen more of Anthony Diallo this year.
Yeah, Diallo's got a good frame. He has powerful skating ability. He's strong on his stick. I would like to see more from him in the coming weeks as well, because Somerset Berkley can never be too hefty in terms of men on the defensive end. You can always use that extra defenseman, especially in games that are down to the wire.
Brings a lot of size too, 6'2", and he's only a sophomore. He's going to keep growing. It's like Mason Sullivan back in the early days where he was tall, but Mason Sullivan ended up getting to 6'3", 6'4", whatever the case may be.
Yeah, reminiscent of his dad, Keith Sullivan. He's quite the unit himself.
Played across, Aaron Preston gets to it, up the ice. Mello got a touch, and he was in front of the red line, no icing here. Mello out to Diallo, taking the shot, got deflected as it went through, and Tobin will cover for his 4th save of the game. Well, Nate Tobin, I think, has done pretty good, keeping his composure, not letting the result, which Somerset Berkley has built up in the second period, he's not letting it get to him.
Yeah, Keegan, you beat me to it. I was just about to say it. That was a bouncing puck there, and there was traffic in front of Tobin as well. The poise from him in that situation is really important for him making that save.
Blankush couldn't keep it in, and this is going to be a 2-on-1 the other way for Apponequet. Francis feeds it across, and it wouldn't go. Rodriguez covers. Kim Sylvia pretty much got nothing on that.
Yeah, Francis needed to lead Sylvia a little bit more there, Keegan. And because he didn't, Sylvia had to almost pivot his hips at the last second, didn't give him enough time to corral it and get the shot off with defenders closing in.
That is a rare misconnection with those two. Francis, a junior, Sylvia, a senior. We see those two connect day in and day out. Off the skate of Gonzalez, and Rodriguez has to leave it for him. Held in at the blue line. That one took a deflection as it went off the stick of Mello. Preston up the ice, decked down again by Ryan Arbrew. How about the physicality from Arbrew tonight?
Yeah, he's looking like a young Milan Lucic.
That's one way to put it. I think he's definitely more skilled than post-Bruins Lucic. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, we can say that, but you can't really dog Bruins Lucic. Mikey and I grew up Bees fans. That guy was the perfect mix of an enforcer and a power forward all in one.
Yeah, on the ice for sure.
Played off the side, too far past Gonzalez. We have another icing with 1 minute and 2 seconds to go in the second period, and what's turning out to be pretty much a dominant game. Barboza trying to center it, wasn't there. Tie up on the side. Just playing clock killer right now, bodies flying everywhere. Blankush at the blue line, got blocked and it's gonna come out. Gonzalez trying to get it back in, here it comes the other way. Eon Nevins is in, saved by Rodriguez as he covers it up.
Great stop by Rodriguez there, and fans, there are only 2 weeks left to catch a game this winter. To access all sports schedules, head on over to arbiterlive.com, enter in your school in the search bar to access matchups and schedules. Again, that is arbiterlive.com.
Also, too, with Arbiter Live, you can check out some team rosters in there as well. I don't know how many of them we have it on our Somerset Berkley sites, as Rodriguez will cover for his 10th save of the game. But Arbiter Lives, I love it way more than some of the other sites like Max Preps. I think is the big one that a lot of people like to use. Arbiter's always my go-to to figure out what game's coming up.
Oh yeah, for sure, and it's good that Somerset Berkley families and student athletes are able to have access to a database like that. Really one of the great things about the advancements in technology.
12 seconds to go. Blankush off to the side. Colton Smith unable to catch up to it. Gonzalez holds it in the back, sends it down. The barn is on fire tonight, folks. 5 goals in that second period for Somerset Berkley. Have them up 6-0 with 15 minutes to go. And gentlemen, as I've said, I'm really surprised by this, but we've seen Apponequet start to make itty-bitty comebacks before. Somerset Berkley has got to keep their composure.
Yeah, I agree with you, Keegan. I mean, they just need to keep firing on all cylinders despite the score. But, you know, as big as a game this is, like, there's still 15 minutes of hockey to be played, and anything can happen. It's the high school level, so.
Yeah, the Raiders just need to keep their foot on the gas pedal, Keegan. Apponequet is in a very vulnerable position right now. There's a lot of frustration being displayed by their players. I really hope that their coaching staff and Nathan Farrington is really able to send a good message, because this game could get out of hand in the third period if not.
The Raiders are 15 minutes away from getting their 3rd consecutive South Coast Conference title. Tape delay feeds, we'll take a short break. We'll be back for the third period in just a second. All right, we're back inside Driscoll Arena. 15 minutes to go in this one. Somerset Berkley in full command over Apponequet, 6-0 through 30 minutes of play. JJ, we've been talking about it. I talked about it with Mikey. Apponequet, a very strong third period team. Somerset Berkley has to maintain at least a 3-goal margin in order to boost their rankings as much as they can. We've seen it from Apponequet. Last time they faced off, they had 2 third-period goals. What do the Raiders have to do, knowing that some of their third, fourth-line guys might be out there?
Well, they really just need to make sure that their coaching staff is preaching discipline. As long as you don't make mistakes, this game is exactly where you want it to be. So limit the mistakes the rest of the way and try and coast as best as possible if you can.
Unable to get that one out was Grady Dion. We're going to have another penalty coming up for tripping. Somerset Berkley is going to go back to the power play. If you like what you're watching or listening, make sure to subscribe to any of our platforms: Somerset Access TV Channel 98, Berkley Community Access TV Channel 9, our Blue Raider Studios YouTube channel, and my Keegan Hamblett Broadcasting YouTube channel. I'm sure, JJ, you're going to put some of your own highlights, probably a little highlight reel on your channel too. Where can we find your stuff that people can listen?
Well, you can always find me at John Sylvia Broadcasting on YouTube. I'm trying to get a bit of a following going. Just got up over 50 subscribers. I'm proud about that. I know it's a small milestone, but nonetheless.
See, I cheated because I created a goal as Mason Sullivan shot it from right at the blue line. He makes it 7-0, and that is his 2nd goal of the game. How about Mason Sullivan putting on a show tonight, JJ?
Yeah, Keegan, we might have 2 Raiders with Hatties tonight if Sullivan can continue this tear that he's on.
And he's only played, what, a period and a minute and a half, too, and he's putting up points like that. I mean, it's impressive.
And we're now in running clock mode 2, as the differential is 7. Something we will keep an eye on. I'll tell you what, while we have a second, our friends Diamond and Durfee Hockey, they had some cake. They're doing their senior night stuff. Well, let's do a taste test. Why don't we? Let's see how it is.
Got to give it a Dave Portnoy rating. Barstool Sports style.
Oh, God. No, that's fine. I'm kidding. No, that's good. I don't know what they had. I don't think I got the corner, though. Like, most people, when they have, like, a birthday cake, celebration cake, most people want the corner. They want more frosting on it.
I don't know. I'm kind of a middle piece guy myself. What's your thoughts on that, Mikey? Corner or middle piece?
I'll take whatever. I'll eat whatever's in front of my way, as long as it doesn't have peanuts in it, because then I'll be sent to the grave. But yeah.
Mantiga got the step into the zone, gets it back, gloved by Nate Tobin, and he'll hold it for a faceoff. Nate Tobin has 9 saves so far after stepping in for Mark Donati, who Barrington replaced around the middle of that second period.
Yeah, and I'm actually shocked by the performance from Donati today, and just the Lakers in general. Just a completely different look, and maybe that's just more about how the Raiders have come together as a team, but it's night and day in comparison to last time these two teams met.
That one tapped out by Eon. Nevins might have a chance the other way. Gonzalez is trying to deny that. The Raiders get to it in the neutral zone. Here is Brody Arujo looking for his first career goal. Got deflected off to the side. Carter Sylvia down low. Here's Nate Mello out in front, and he couldn't find Arujo. Vincent, a good step on the left side. Vincent still going, a battle of the 11, sends it out in front, popped high, right in front, loose puck. I don't think it went through to Rodriguez. That second effort did, though, and it ends up on the other side.
Yeah, Rodriguez actually made a pretty strong pad save there, showing off some reflexes, because the puck was only, I'd say, 1.5 feet from him when it was shot, and he still had to get over with that left pad to the far post to make sure he kept it out. So I like the effort from Rodriguez today, as he's just stepping up when he's called upon. It hasn't always been repetitive, but when he's needed, he deals.
Another tie-up in the Somerset Berkley zone, and they don't get it out, apparently. Looked like that one came out, but it's held in by Keith Tobin. Sent down by Soderberg. That one held in at the point. Tobin sends it right back down. And we've talked about this, JJ, in the past. These third or fourth line guys that are getting out there as Rodriguez makes another save, what does it mean, and what do they have to prove in order to get playing time down the rest of the way?
Well, I call it the big three with Kevin Snyder. Can you skate powerfully? Is your shot accurate? And can you forecheck well? If you can do those three things, you're going to earn some brownie points with the big man behind the bench.
Tell you what, I could go for some brownies, too, with this cake that they had in there. That's awesome.
Yeah, maybe I can try and take advantage of the hospitality, too. I saw some pizza in there as well. I'm a big Italian pie guy.
Rodriguez in the splits, able to make that save, too. Rodriguez up to 13 on the night. And I'll say this about Gavin Rodriguez, like, we're not going to have a Brandon Silva in net for a long time. I do think he has more flexibility than him, though, because I can't recall that many times where Brandon Silva was going in the splits.
Oh, Gavin's an athlete, period. End of story. He is a multi-sport athlete as well, you know, playing for the lacrosse team, and it's been a good game for him just all around.
9:15 to go in this one. Here's Aubrew. Do want to shout out our student photographer, Bryson Kane, taking a lot of good flicks tonight. Carter Sylvia battling with Ryan Aubrew right down low. Aubrew will take over. These third line guys out there are competing with the best of Apponequet right now. I got to say, that is really good to see.
Yeah, that was one of the things that made Somerset Berkley great last year. So they need it again this year if they want to make a run.
Sullivan on the backhand. Short angle out in front, unable to get the shot away with Sylvia. Now Carter Sylvia. Some stick wax held in at the line. Diello stick down by Aubrew. Ryan Aubrew played up on the left for Sylvia. Cam Sylvia takes the shot, got blocked. Rodriguez sticks it away. Now, we usually do our post-game interviews. I might snag Gavin Rodriguez for tonight. He's been putting on a show. Evan Sylvia the other way into the middle and unable to tap it was Axon or Carter Sylvia. Diello holds it in at the point. We'll send it down, and Jared Freitas has it.
Yeah, good job by the Lakers of getting sticks and passing lanes there. That's what prevented that backdoor feed.
Carter Sylvia takes over as the Diamond Durfee people are starting to leave right behind us. Tobin with another save, and shoved down to the ice was Evan Sylvia. Axon gets the step up, and it's saved yet again. Oh no, it went in the net. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, but the refs didn't either, so face-off coming to the left of Tobin.
Now wait a minute. Did that go in right away? I didn't see it.
Oh, yeah, the puck was loose on top of his pad. It was just a quick trigger whistle from the referee. And then when he moved, it bounced in the net, obviously. That's why I was at kind of a loss for words.
And now we're going to have a penalty coming up against Somerset Berkley.
Ah, jeez, 2 bad bounces in a row.
It's going to be Cam McKenna going to the box this time.
This is a good chance, though, for the Lakers to get some work in for their power play unit. That's been something they've had success with at points during the season, so maybe they can cash in with this opportunity.
Face off on the left side of Rodriguez. That shot taken through, save, and the rebound goes wide.
Yeah, a lot of traffic in front of Rodriguez there. He's lucky there wasn't more touches from White in that situation.
Held in by Arbrew. A little bit too far for Peck. He gets back on it, though, on the backhand. Down low for Nevins. Nevins gets it out. Slap shot on a one-timer. Rodriguez didn't even have to move. Went in the butterfly. Makes another comfortable save.
I'm going to continue to sound like a broken record, but this has been a display from multiple goaltenders tonight of conservative goaltending, something that made Henrik Lundqvist so good when he was in the NHL. So Rodriguez, because of his stance in the net and the fact that he had gotten square and all of that, it made it so he didn't have to move, like you said.
This one is going to be a tight race to the puck. Looks like Arbrew gets to it first. We'll have to battle now with Nate Mello. I do want to apologize if Ryan's family is watching. I said in the final game I would go out with the bang. I said his name wrong for 4 years. I always said Abreu. It spelled like it would be Abreu. Mello getting back to it. I thought the arm went up. We were going to have a penalty, but he put it back down. Well, I'll tell you what, Ryan Arbrew, one class act, one of the nicest guys around. He's someone you want to have on your team.
Yeah, for sure. And quite honestly, Keegan, I thought it was Abreu as well. That's how I pronounced it. So you taught me something new again. You always seem to be able to teach me something new. That's one of the things I value in friendships that I have, is learning new things. I learn a lot about boxing and stuff of that nature from Mikey and from you. It's those nitty-gritty details that I can always count on for.
Well, at least I don't say Alves or Silvia. So at least we're in good company with that. That one went high, very high, near the scoreboard, off the netting and out of play with 4.5 minutes to go. I'm going to try doing this again because I couldn't. We were rudely interrupted earlier by a goal. Do want to shout out Mari Veloz stepping in to film this game for us, and she's always here at the games helping out, even if it's just to support us on the mic, JJ.
Yeah, and I got to give props to her, honestly. This is out of her comfort zone for sure, and I'm a proud boyfriend today.
Yeah, give her some love in the comments, people. We'll read some nice comments to her.
Yeah, I'm sure her parents, Melissa and Juan, are watching right now as well. So shout out to them and thank you for the lunch today at Harvest Tap and Table. It was delicious. God, I love the chicken wings there.
Counter the other way, stepping up on the right side. Brady Fitzpatrick holds it up, tried to feed it across. Mantiga finds it. Mantiga holds off the skate of Frias. Mantiga with a good nudge against Nate Peck. Sanford up on the right side, it's held in, but the Lakers have full control with 4 minutes to go. McKenna right back to him. McKenna shot just high over the crossbar.
Yeah, Cam was looking at a snipe of his own tonight.
This one walked out, could be a chance for Greg Francis the other way. Spinorama decked down to the ice.
Now that's good composure and just poise by Fitzpatrick on the defensive end there. And again, he made sure that he didn't get charged for a penalty, which is important in this type of situation. You got to finish strong.
Do want to shout out Mikey Ellis, who's been helping us out during the season. Tonight, most likely, is going to be his last hockey game of the year. Mikey, you have fun doing the games this season. I know you and Joey have been really stepping up big time.
Oh, yeah,
here.
a lot of fun. I mean, since it's my first time doing it, speaking about comfort zone, it's definitely out of my comfort zone. But every single game, I kind of like settle in more, get more comfortable. But yeah, this has been a great experience so far. Like, I've had a lot of fun this year.
Fitzpatrick couldn't get it out in front. And I will say this truthfully, Joey, I'm not surprised. Like, I know none of you two have done it. Joey, I'm not surprised. He's a talkative person. He's perfect to be on the mic, good at public speaking. You're a boxer. You beat people up if they start saying anything. But,
well, yeah, it depends what the judges think, unlike the last time. I mean, but yeah, that's for another day. That's for another day.
But as JJ talks about doing your homework, helped you out a lot in this industry.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially when you've put in all the time and effort of updating all the stats and even putting in fun facts for us to read before the game. Like, I really appreciate it, and I understand what you do. It takes a lot of time and effort, and I don't think it gets appreciated as much.
JJ, you got anything you want to say to Mikey? I know he's been your friend for a long time, and now he gets to join you on these calls.
Nah, I mean, that was really one of the things I set out to do in the new year, was to try and get more people involved in the things that I love, and broadcasting's one of them. As a near goal there for Apponequet, but I'm just so grateful for the opportunities to work with all of you. You guys are great friends of mine, and just getting to spend time with you talking about the sport that I love for my alma mater doesn't get any better than this.
Jake De Silva gets it on his left. Sticks being raised on the side, nudged off by Nevins. That's Peck, a good burst of steam the other way on the left side. Entering the zone, Peck put it behind the net. Loose puck, which the Raiders control. De Silva trying the self-tap. There it is. He's just going to send it down, though. Final minute to go. The Raiders are about to clinch their third South Coast Conference title in a row. Prior to the last 3 years, they were co-champs in 2020 with the DRS side. Prior to that, it was 2003 where they were members of the EAC. Sullivan comes in looking for another one. He's already got two, trying to join Barboza for the hat trick. Carter Sylvia wrapped it around, and it's in. Carter Sylvia, the backdoor step up near side. It's 8-0.
I can see it from here, the smile on Carter's face. Everything going right for the Raiders in this game. Everybody getting involved, and clock's going to tick down. Big props to Gavin Rodriguez in this one. Stepping up when called upon. Everybody stepping up when called upon. This is a big team win, and one that could potentially provide some more momentum, and I like to use the word oomph a lot. It's going to give the Raiders more oomph the rest of the way.
Well, that will probably give us an excuse to get Carter Sylvia up here for our post-game interview. That's it. The horn goes off. Somerset Berkley, 8-0 winners, matching their largest result against Apponequet 3 years ago, which was also 8-0. SEC champs, third year in a row. JJ, we knew this game was huge for Somerset Berkley tonight. They brought the energy. They deserve this win.
Yeah, they do, and that energy needs to stay consistent the rest of the way. Every game from here on out, they need to bring the same level of intensity, the same intensity of forecheck, and the same preciseness of shots, because tonight it was a near flawless performance from this Raiders squad that any coach can be proud of.
Mari, I'm going to ask you just one question. It's going to be an easy question. I know you don't like being on the mic, but you did such a phenomenal job on camera today. Did you have fun doing it?
Yes, I did, but I don't want to do it again.
We're clipping that one out. That's going on the highlight reel tonight.
For sure.
But you know JJ is so excited to have you running the camera today. I know you don't want to do it again, but what does it mean stepping in just to help us get over the air and give some film to our audience at home?
Well, I love coming up here. I love supporting you guys. So jumping in and helping, why not?
Anybody watching on the live stream, we thank you for tuning in tonight. Keegan Hamblett signing off on our live stream. Tape delay. We'll be right back.